We know the terrible things drugs can do. We've seen the despair, the sunken face of the junkie. No wonder those in government say, we've got to stop that. We have to fight drugs.
This is what happens to your brain after snorting heroin.
The government-subsidized ads are a vivid reminder of what drugs can do to people and their families.
This is what your family goes through, and your friends.
Polls show most Americans agree drug use should be illegal.
Any questions?
Or as former drug czar Bill Bennett put it,
this is a deadly and poisonous activity. It should be against the law. People should be imprisoned for long periods of time for doing it. It's a matter of right and wrong.
but when right and wrong conflict with supply and demand, nasty things happen. Government declaring drugs illegal doesn't mean people can't get them. It just means they get them on the black market, where they pay much more for them.
The only reason that coke is worth that much money is that it's illegal. Pure cocaine is 3 times the cost of gold. Now, if that's the case, how are you going to stop people from selling cocaine?
Father Joseph Kane is a priest in that Bronx neighborhood we saw earlier.
Peace, my brother. God bless you.
He's come to believe that while drug abuse is bad, drug prohibition is worse, because the black market does horrible things to his community.
There's so much money in it. I mean, it's staggering.
The war on drugs designed to help Americans has had 3 unintended consequences. First, it sucks children into the underworld. Second, it corrupts cops. And third, it creates crime. Let's take them in order.
We are recruiting children in the Bronx, in barrios, and all over the nation because of drug money.
Judge James Gray is a Superior Court judge in Orange County, California, who's spent years locking drug dealers up. But now he's concluded it's pointless, because drug prohibition makes the drugs so absurdly valuable.
The money to be made from the sale of the illegal drugs is a bigger problem than the drugs themselves.
Judge Gray drove with us through Father Kane's neighborhood.
Why should a kid in this neighborhood work in this corner grocery when he can make 5 times the amount of money in an afternoon selling drugs?
Is that right? Is the money that good?
Yeah. That's how I started out. I saw all the things that the drug money was getting other people.
These young men, now ex-cons, say they were sucked into the drug trade by their local role models, the dealers. They were the cool people in the neighborhood?
Yeah, you can say that people looked up to.
You see somebody, you know, they got a fancy car and they got nice jewelry and all the girls are after them, you know, and you just get that, you know, that mentality that that's the right thing to do.
What guy would look for a job if you can make $300 a night? I mean, it's almost un-American to say, I can make this much money, but I'm not going to do it.
It's economics 1A. The drug money is corrupting our children. It is corrupting our law enforcement officers.
Corrupt cops. That's the second unintended consequence of drug prohibition. Cops like these are seduced by drug money. They have been for years.
While you were in uniform and on duty, did you commit thefts?
Yeah.
What would you steal?
Money and drugs.
Money and drugs. The temptation's so huge.
100, 200, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Here, the man on the right, a San Antonio cop, waits to be paid after delivering what he was told was 20 pounds of cocaine. His take is $3,000.
$3,000. God dang it.
He eagerly scoops up the money.
With all of the money, with all the cash, it's easy then to purchase police officers, to purchase prosecutors, to purchase judges.
This drug dealer used to make $20,000 a weekend with the help of the police. So the cops know and just...
Of course, how else are you going to exist? It's not like it's a big covert operation. It's out in the open. The cops are just another gang.
Most of the time when you dealt, you had some cops on your payroll?
Of course.
The third and probably worst unintended consequence is the drug crime. Films like Reefer Madness have told us people take drugs and just go crazy.
You're crazy. Take it easy, kid.
But think about it. In reality, do people go crazy, get violent because they're high on drugs? Rarely.
Most of our violence comes from the fact that it's illegal.
The violence happens because dealers arm themselves and have shootouts over turf.
An innocent bystander is hit during a shootout.
And the violence happens because addicts steal to pay the high prices for drugs. Nicotine is about as addictive as cocaine or heroin, but No one's knocking over 7-Elevens to get Marlboros or Budweiser.
Most people are not afraid of the legal pushers. They're not afraid to go to supermarkets selling alcohol. I don't see them shooting each other. But if you make the substance illegal, they will use violence because there's no other way of handling the problem.
That's what happened in the 1920s when government made alcohol illegal.
For 13 years, the idiocy continued.
It was alcohol prohibition that gave rise to criminals like Al Capone.
Gangsterism was a natural sequel, and battles for exclusive territories erupted with a violence unparalleled in the history of law enforcement.
The people who were against alcohol were sincere, I suspect. But they didn't see the implications. We know the implications in the year 2002. We know that prohibition doesn't work for alcohol. Why would it work for anything else?